That's
All right,
better.
perfect. Yep, so we're going to go ahead and get started if you're ready.
Let's do it.
All right, so we got Mr. Willie Taylor here, okay? Former Making the Band contestant and then turned Day 26 because you were one of Diddy's selected members, of course. Former castmate to Lovin' Hip Hop Hollywood. And now we are here at unfortunate circumstances. Your family trials are all over the internet, not the internet, the internet.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But you know what? We're
Yes,
going to cover that and some more because I really do want to know what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know, the drama sales, of course, but we still want to know what's going on with
and it shouldn't be drama because I'm kind of living a drama-free life.
Okay.
But drama tries to find you, you know, when you're at your peaceful place.
Okay.
But that's just the work of the enemy. But we'll get into that.
Oh, I hear shade already. He said work of the enemy.
No, it's no shade because it's out of the human form at this point. I mean, it becomes bigger than us. And then those are the energies that we, you know, happen to deal with. But we'll get more into it. So just go ahead the way you're going, and then I'll make a lot more sense for you.
I just wanted to first ask. I wasn't gonna jump right into the drama. You know what I'm saying? What has been going on with Mr. Willie Taylor? Okay, Day 26.
What you mean,
why aren't you not on the Millennium tour? What's going on?
Well, you know what? I don't know why we're not on Millennium tour. I feel like we're in a place where, you know, they don't allow us to go out on the road with the 90s groups because that's not an era. But then when you come to the groups, you know, when we had our reign from 2007, 2010, I feel like, you know, that's a lost era. And I'm just in a more of a seat now in my life where I don't wait for opportunity to present itself. I create the opportunity. So, you know, with needless to say, and, you know, when we just getting to the point of that, I'm going to be discussing more further things with the group coming into 2022 for a tour for next year, but it will have to be including all 5 members, and you know everything had to be lined up correctly where everybody goes home with the bag that they deserve to go home with. But it's being structured correctly, and that just goes back to me saying, you know what I mean. I don't wait for opportunity. You know what I mean? You just gotta, you gotta knock it down yourself. You see it. If others don't see it, you gotta go and see it for yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, because I know a lot of the, you know, the fans were asking. They was like, "Wait a minute, we short a few groups,
right.
And your group did come up." So I'm sure you've been faced with that question, not only from me but other people as well. Like, what's going on? So, do you ever feel like, you know, because I know you worked with Diddy for an extensive amount of time. Do you ever feel like he was helpful in any of your career, like even during your transition to more of a solo artist?
Just for the drive. I mean, the he possess. I mean, it's just more something to if you get a hold of it and look at it, you kind of see what that is. But other than that, it's just more of a confirmation, especially if you got that work ethic in you yourself. You know what I mean? So if anything, it was just I look at it as more as a example of something that I look forward to. You know what I mean? When it comes to music industry and the things he's been able to accomplish. So in that realm of things, I feel like that's the biggest thing for me, even being able to work with him, just seeing it firsthand.
Okay. Now, a lot of artists don't do this, but you are kind of one of the few. You actually got married to your wife. I hope I'm saying her name right. I want to call her Shonda so bad, but it's Shonda Taylor. Shonda Taylor, right. Okay. And so you actually got married to your wife right around the time when Day 26 was taking off.
Yeah, which is an interesting term in our life. That's one of those.
I mean, was it intentional? Was it something that you guys both discussed, or I mean, how was it when you and Shonda first met during the rise of your career?
We discussed getting married. Like, I proposed before all of this stuff because my mind was there, and I knew that I eventually wanted to get married. Okay. I think it was more on her to get married at the time because I was getting ready to move into the house with some girls, and you know that whole type of thing for a mental period had to jump into play. And with that being cool, I was so family oriented at the time that I was thinking, I knew that I wanted to get married, but I did know that a family was the biggest outcome of the picture. And since my son was there already in place, my oldest, Kavion, then that's what kind of rushed the situation. But imagine me living life, you know, serving not 2, but 3 masters. I had my career taken off. I had my marriage, and I had fatherhood. It was all things that require you to be number one in those areas, you know, and I was battling all of them at the same time, which led to the, you know, the things that happened through time in a marriage. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, because I mean, I do know, like, there was a big gap, right? So it was day 26. You guys were on tour, probably one of the
Mhm.
hottest bands out there. And then you're married, and then you're a father, and then I guess the hype kind of goes down around day 26, and then you surprisingly pop up on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And
Yeah.
we're not discussing day 26. We're discussing a lot of infidelities
Right.
that were exposed on the show.
Hmm.
Yeah. How did you
Right.
feel about that? I mean, a lot of people join Love and Hip Hop Hollywood to help their careers revive and stuff like that. But did you know that
Yeah.
your infidelities would be the talk of, like,
I had no idea. They,
so they
they,
blindsided you?
yeah, they came out of left field with that. That was nothing I would have signed up for. You know what I mean, I was more, but I was so in such a musical bag at the time that I was really just trying to focus on what that could be for me in the moment,
Okay.
that I didn't really see the things that could possibly transpire. You know, they could be happening around me, but at the same time, I think that took and put me in a position of complete growth, though. You know what I mean? It put me in a
Mm.
position where I had to learn, and I had to be faced with whatever I was dealing with at the time, head on. And you couldn't run from yourself. You had to just be right there and be present in the moment and deal with it, which I
Okay.
think was better for me because I'm more of an extremist. So when it comes to lessons I need to learn,
Okay.
it takes an extreme thing for me to learn them. You know what I mean? I think those
Okay.
things like that kind of help me get into a place where I can learn from it.
Do you feel like you and Shonda were too young to be married and be and so committed to such a big commitment
For
while
sure.
you were at the height of your career?
For sure. For sure. I feel like we jumped into it prematurely. There was love there, but it wasn't, we didn't know, we were young. We didn't know what marriage was completely.
How old were
So
you, if
we
you don't mind
was,
me asking?
I was 21.
Oh, wow. And how old was she?
She was, no, 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 no. She was 21. I was 24.
Okay.
Right. She was,
Yeah, that's
so
pretty
that's what,
young.
yeah. So we really didn't know what marriage was at all. We were just, trying to figure it out. And I think through the lines we had to figure out, because when you go in so young, you don't set all these boundaries and things that you don't even know your acceptance level. You don't know that these people are going to change from now into 10 years later, and the expectancy is going to change. You don't implement those things into life. So you're just judging them from what you expect marriage to be. And majority of the time we don't know. So especially at a young age. So we went in and we didn't know, of course I was jumping into my career. So I didn't know what that could be. She was more relying on whatever I had going on. So it was more of me had to take the financial burden of everything off the jump and not know, it's just a lot to jump into off jump and not really know what you're jumping into, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, I just couldn't
Right.
imagine being like at the height of my career and having an entire family. I mean, did you guys travel together, or was it kind of you're on the road and she's at home with the kids?
We traveled sometime, but the majority of the time it was just me and the group, just
Okay.
going, and she was dealing with whatever she had to deal with back home, which was a strain for the both of us because now we're missing each other. Now the thoughts of other things happen. So when you get phone calls when you're on the road then, and those conversations start to become, because she don't understand what's going on now, and though she's not there, it's hard for you to explain what's going on and how important it is for you to do it. She's sending different vibes to you. You're not doing what she needs you to do, and then those conflicts become toxic. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a young mother and a young wife, and my husband is on the road, and there are women every fucking where.
Right.
And everywhere you look, you turn. It's just like, that metaphor. I hate to be so extreme with it, but Jay-Z said, like, he was raised in the projects, and when you're in the projects, all you see is the projects. You kind of, you walk up to the building, people around that are in the projects. You walk in the building, people around, your neighbors are in the projects. And so all you know is the projects, and you can't see anything past that. And so being
Right.
that you're 24, 25, 26, I can imagine that it was extremely difficult for you to keep family on your mind the entire time.
Oh yeah. Well, even though it wasn't as hard to keep family on your mind, but it's just when you're dealing with the business aspect of everything, you got the family, with the marriage, then you got the kids as well. That one turned into now four, but it's it's just hard to really balance it. You know what I mean? The thoughts there, but then it's like, what are you remembering from that situation? I feel like at some point it became just so um, argumentative that that's what led us into our first drive of, infidelities and things of that nature. I mean, so.
Okay, so it wasn't like you just got on the road and started cheating. Like,
Oh, no, 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 no. And I think
okay,
that I don't even want, and I don't think, I could be wrong. I don't think that's anybody's, but it may be. I don't know. Somebody might go up, but that was never mine. It was just more so at the time looking for something that I was missing at home and I couldn't find it. And I was finding that joy in something else, which I had to, put a cap on and realize that my strength comes from a higher power than what I was searching for.
okay, okay. I could tell that I like that you own, because a lot of men don't sit here and own their shit. You know what I'm saying? And for you to
Oh, yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
I was
yeah,
looking
yeah,
for someone else, because I mean, a lot of times when when women are quote unquote crazy, or she's insane, and it's like, she didn't get there by herself. You know what you know what I'm saying?
no, facts.
And
Facts.
obviously there was enough love there for you and Shonda to uh uh stay married for as long as you have up until this point.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's been a friendship, that we never let break, even though the love, comes, goes, flips, goes left,
Mm-hmm.
comes back right. And we just, go with the punches of that and try to implement more things that can, build and help the foundation of it. Because I feel like we had got to a point where the foundation was so rocky that anything that we put on top of it was, sure falling and breaking and things of that nature. So we had to get to a point where we were just building the foundation a little bit stronger so that we could just, this is something I'm talking about. We're in the season of doing actually right now, just implementing more things that help this relationship become stronger so that we can come out on the brighter side of it, so we can see that family that, that we deserve to show people, you know what I mean? Because it's
Mm.
been enough there where if we can turn it around, it can be something special, you know what I mean?
I
For each
noticed
other,
that
because
you're
it's enough.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I noticed that
Go ahead,
you
go ahead, say
you
something.
no, yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. If I cut you off, I'm sorry.
Are you good?
Okay. No, I noticed that you're really spiritual. Do you have an upbringing in the church? Because I mean, I noticed you're talking a lot about God and the foundation and roots and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's actually where my upbringing is from, man. I'm actually from the church. And I've always known things about, God and spirituality, but now I think as I begin to get older and go through my life experiences, I get closer to it and I start to understand more of who I am,
Okay.
and why I operate the way I operate, and my DNA and my love language, and just different things that'll just make me more of aware of who I am and who I'm bringing into a situation, and the things that I can't control and the things that I can control and how can I control it, and the things that I can accept and the things that I cannot accept, because those are the most important things to me now in a relationship. If it's something that we can get past and I can accept it,
Hmm.
then okay, it's cool moving forward in this relationship. But if it's something I reach to a point that it's something that I cannot accept, then I would just have to accept the fact that I'm not right for this situation.
Okay.
If you understand
Is
what I'm
that
saying.
is that how you feel about your marriage? You're not right for the marriage?
All right, winos, welcome back to my kitchen. Okay, we are always here. Anything that I have going on in my life personally goes down here. Y'all saw when I made my plant-based dressing. Okay, now forget about my plant-based dressing. I want to introduce you to some products that I have just recently incorporated into my kitchen. Okay, one, because I'm cheap. Okay, two, I do not like going to the store, and three, BLUELAND here has created a new way for us to help not only to save the planet, but to save money, okay? These are the forever bottles with their refill packs, okay? They have hand soap, foam soap, okay? I'm gonna go just like this, even though I'm not washing my hands, but I want you to see that foam, okay? It comes in a tablet with some hot water. You dissolve it, put it in here, and guess what? This glass jar is mine forever, and they send me refill tablets, okay, that start as low as $2, okay? We also have the BLUELAND multi-surface, okay? I made this just to show you exactly how it's made, okay? Hot water, one tablet here, okay? You put it in here, you keep the bottle so that we're not polluting the planet and things with plastic bottles, because you know plastic bottles cannot, okay, be disposed, all right? And so what do we do to solve that problem? We keep them, all right? Also, they have the BLUELAND bathroom cleaner, okay? This is the pink tablet that goes in that, but I'm going to show you how to make the BLUELAND window cleaner, okay? This is for glass and mirror. I already have my hot water here. I'm going to take this packet, this refill that is less than $2, okay? And I'm going to put it right in here. It's going to dissolve. I'm going to put on my lid here, okay? Put it on the lid. Because you guys see, I got a lot of windows in this house. And then guess what? I keep these bottles and I order my refills for as low as $2. And I use them, okay? I have a lot of glass in this house. I have a lot of bathrooms in this house, okay? I also have a lot of multi-surface cleaners, and I'm always washing my hand, okay? Now, I know we're always buying hand washing soap in the store, but you're throwing away those bottles, helping to pollute the planet. I want to help to save the planet inside and out, okay? And I start with BLUELAND, all right? And all you have to do is click the link below to get 20% off your first kit. And guess what? BLUELAND can be yours forever.
Is that how you feel about your marriage? You're not right for the marriage?
Well, it's not that I don't feel like I'm right for the marriage. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm really trying my best to bring my best foot forward and try to understand that I'm not always right. I understand my flaws, understand my wrongs, and understand that, with me understanding the flaws of myself, I'm able to see what I'm looking at and see, if we can both see, okay, all right, this is what I see in you. Do you see this in you? And can we change that? And those are more the conversations now. So it's not more of I'm building myself to try to be as best as I possibly can for the situation, which is what my leaving and going to Sedona was all about. It's just me going to try to clear my head, go to the mountaintop, talk to me, or having one-on-one time with God, see exactly what he wants me to be doing in the season, see exactly what foundations I can make stronger when it comes to my marriage, when it comes to my business, when it comes to everything. Because I had so many things that I had been doing and so many ideas I had been jotting down. But it's like, if I could put it to you like this, if I had papers all scattered over the table and I had wrote down a lot of ideas, but I couldn't put them all together because the papers are all over the table, I had time in Sedona to really put those papers in line so that moving forward, I can have a foundation that I can make strong enough that we can get to what we're supposed to be getting to.
Okay. Since Shonda has taken to the internet, just in case the viewers aren't aware, of her post, basically calling you, out for deserting her and your 4 children without any explanation as to where you were, and then you responded, basically, outlining some details about where you were, and you made clear that you really never left. You just took a break.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, to go think, and you just talked about that, going to the mountaintop. Now, are you back home since Shonda has taken to social media to kind of put you on blast?
I have come home. Everything here is not peachy as it should be, but we're working on some things. We're getting a better
right now. She home with you right now, or she's out?
No, she's upstairs.
Shonda,
she's upstairs.
Look. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're so serious. You're like, yeah. After all that, she upstairs. Y'all set the internet on fire. She said, he called and left me with 4 kids. And you talking about I'm home, but she upstairs.
Listen to this. This is what you all had to understand in the situation. It got to a point where I felt like I no longer knew how I was going to mentally be able to sustain here at my house as the head of the household when it came to me mentally, because not only was I dealing with the grief of my father, the household was going up and down when it came to, decisions being made here. So for me to stay here, I felt was just going to be something that I didn't want to deal with. So for me, I took the trip to Sedona, and mind you, I had planned to take this trip to Sedona a week later, and I had explained that to my wife, and we was going to do that, and she was going to have a work week here where she was going to be able to work, and I was going to be home, and I was going to take care of the kids, which was all explainable. But the reason why I left the time I left, because there was no other thing I could do on that Monday night but say, it's time. So when I said it was time, I couldn't worry about what nobody else thought, what nobody else felt. I knew I was going to make sure that my household was going to be taken care of. In the small time, I was going to be gone. But in
How long
order
were
for
you
me to make,
gone?
I was gone. Well, at the time the post came up, I had only been gone for 2 days.
Oh,
But I actually returned home on that Saturday, which they probably gave me 4 or 5 days total.
okay.
Mind you, day one was amazing. I sat there and I was praying about different things, man. I was writing a lot of things down on what I was telling you about the foundations of a lot of things, trying to build that. And I was building myself to a place where I was going to come home and give my wife all of this great news on how we can move forward, because I had stepped out of the fire to go get water from the mountaintops is where I went in real time. So imagine me going up to the mountaintops to try to get sanity and just my wife knowing, because on a Monday she did say, when I said I'm gonna go tomorrow, she did say, I don't care what you do what you need to do. But I guess she didn't expect me to do it. But when I did it and I started to, and I really thought she was behind me up until the grenade came from out here and blew me up in Sedona, because I was at peace and I was coming back to bring some peace to my household. And from there, it just went left. And that's where the internet thing went. It was like, no, I was really just going to get peace, y'all. I was coming back to my family. My kids know me. I'm father of the year every year. That's who I am. I desire to be a great father. You know what I mean? Those things has been in my heart since I was a child. You know what I mean? So those things you can't put against me. So for me to be dealing with the mental trauma of my father and knowing that the household and what I needed to be, and me trying to gather myself to become a better man, to come back here and become something for the situation, I felt like I didn't expect that from my partner. And that's the biggest thing that hurt me. So I didn't really care about what the public had to say. It was more so the person that I was going to save in the situation was the problem with,
So you
why it couldn't be fulfilled.
You guys left on good terms. When you left, y'all were on good terms.
On a Monday.
On a Monday.
The Monday that I left, we were not on good terms.
Okay.
That was the day. So I had went, and it's another thing that she did never say. I had just flew her to Miami to have a girls trip with her friends in Miami.
Okay.
And that's that's a trip that you just took right before I took my Sedona trip. And you was clubbing and having a good time at the club, which is you're supposed to do. You have a good time. That's what I sent you there for. Enjoy yourself. But she handled herself very poorly in the situation, which led to more things on that Monday when she returned, which is like, okay, let me go and take my break now, because not only are you coming back, not acting as if, it should be a situation because you acted so poorly, but you're throwing it about 10,000 other things. And I'm just not in a place mentally to just see you step away from what the issue is and create another issue. So I just took my break, and yeah, that was it, man.
Okay. So, but it wasn't no talk of divorce. I'm not coming back.
No,
She knew you were coming back.
No. It's never been talk of
Did
divorce.
she think that you were with another woman and lied about it?
I mean, I just think at the time she just wanted her way, and she wanted to be heard for what she was saying at the time. But at the time I was just asking her to just relax on whatever that is and understand that I'm not mentally in a state where I can, just take in everything that you're giving. So just relax on it for a second. Let me deal with what I'm dealing with, and I'm gonna come back and we can do all this stuff from the ground up and build it where it's supposed to be. And I think it just came down to not being patient enough to just take the time out to be like,
I feel like maybe she was scared, like that, that silence really shakes people, especially if they feel that they have some sort of control, over a situation. And then when someone steps back, and that silence is there and you're unsure. I think she was probably unsure and scared about you deciding at the top of that mountain that you wasn't going to come back home.
But I was going to get, I didn't go. I don't think my prayers are ever to get rid of my marriage. My prayers are always, God, anything that sounds like you, take it away. Things like, God, if I used to pray, God, help me to make my marriage better. But then I had to stop praying that because maybe I'm not the person that can make my marriage better. So then I pray for whoever, God, you send to make it better, better. So, I think right now you're finding us we're in a new works now. We're in a new works because new things have happened in front of the media. And now we have to fight those things again. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the best thing for us the best thing for us to do would be to take care of a lot of our stuff off social media, which is I'm just totally against, especially when it comes down to stuff like mental health and things like that. Man, we've been in enough about cheating and things of that nature, and that's not a part of our story no more. So it's like, we shouldn't even be in for nothing that's outside of loving each other. And that's the only interest I have in having it, period. Yeah.
Oh, so you still love her and you still intend on being that husband that God wants you to be to her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always had that desire, and I feel like I'm gonna try up until I can try no more. And I feel like, sometimes those things we're close, and I don't know if it's the season we're in. I don't know if it's the level of growth that God has put inside of me that's making the enemy so upset that he wants to come and infiltrate through such a channel as such. But whatever it is, I mean, I'm not gonna definitely let it hold me back in anything, and I'm just hoping for everybody to have happiness and. Anything that we do go through, I'm just hoping that we can find at least a peace in the home where we can discuss it without, including the public.
I feel you. Now, is it true, because my show producer was talking to me, she said you had shared some things with her about your transition from Chicago to Arizona and you moved your family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was your reason for doing that? I mean, was it to get, I guess, one, Chicago ain't safe for shit. I mean, shout out to Chicago. I love Chicago. It's
that's my city for sure. But
it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. Every time I go to Chicago, I have a great time. But as far as raising a family there, I mean, you got to have some bread to be on a good side of town. So is that the reason why you moved your family to Arizona?
My biggest thing for Arizona is I'm more a peace person. And the weather gives me a lot of peace. And it's a lot of sun out here. The weather's always nice. When I wake up every day, when I look out the window, it's a good day. So that kind of starts my energy, and I want to be a part of that good day. Versus in Chicago, you got the rain, the snow, the leaves. I mean, there's all these things you'll get through these different seasons. And that kind of affects my energy. A rainy day kind of brings me down. Do I really want to go outside? Do I want to stay as energetic as I am and moving these plans forward? You know what I mean? So it was more an energy thing for me. And it's more positive here.
I can see that. Okay.
And outside of the weather, of course, the killing, I don't want to be, I got 4 kids. I got to make sure that they're safe at all times.
Okay. Now, lastly.
That's my ability.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. No, thank you for sharing that. Now, lastly, how do you feel that the R&B king of Chicago is now not going to be seeing the light of day anymore? Like, how does that make you feel being a Chicago native, knowing that one of
that is so crazy to me, man. I mean, of course, we all know he's the king of R&B. You know what I mean? That's a big influence in my life when it comes to musically, for sure. It's unfortunate, man. We all have our things that we go through, and some people's demons are just extreme and they just can't get it. But we can't deny the talent in which he is. He is a great talent, and we grew up listening to R. Kelly. I mean, thinking about Chicago, as many songs as you know from R. Kelly, we probably know 10 times more, because every song that he was probably even writing, he was putting on the radio at some point, and they would just play it. I mean, we heard songs that he had later placed on Joe and on B2K and all type of things that we had already heard as R. Kelly on the radio. So it was like, yeah, like it
we thought that we heard that song.
Yeah, it's like, no, that, like, we knew the song for sure. Wow. So it's like, he had the golden key. So it was like just being around that and knowing that it was so much, and then being from Chicago and as a musician, so much other things around it. So it just becomes just one of those things where you wish them well. And, of course, the music gonna do what it's gonna do, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I feel like that was just,
you feel like
terrible situation.
You feel like he was guilty, even though he was convicted of those crimes?
You know what? It'd be so hard for me. I mean, you get so washed into the TV series that you don't. You really don't know, because everything was said, and it's like, oh, that's bad. And once you digest it, it's hard to get it out of there. So I heard a lot of the cases was coming back. He was coming back like as if the things never happened. But I guess they got something there, man. I really can't pinpoint what it was, because I really don't know the full story. So it's like, I believe that justice should be served. So if it's anything there that has truth to it, then you're going to have to do what you're going to have to deal with. And that's just what it is. We can't run from those things.
Okay. What projects are you working on now?
Well, look, I just did a retreat in Bowie, Maryland. So what I wanted to do is go to Bowie, Maryland. Yeah, I went to Bowie, Maryland. I flew my top producers, writers, and engineers to one house, and we created my album in 5 days. So 9 songs, 5 days. I want to have one vision, and I wanted to relate to what I was dealing with in life right now. And it's so funny how this actually panning out because I wrote a lot of these songs in May, and some of my life experiences is panning out perfectly. So I kind of like got the soundtrack to my own life.
Okay.
But I got it through. So what I did is when I flew everybody to Bowie, Maryland, we sat there in the house. My counselor, Dr. Ish from WeTV,
Okay.
he came in via Skype, and we did a men, counseling session where we all sat there and we spilled from the depths. Everybody, I mean, I saw grown men say real stuff, and it's all documented. So this is gonna be a part of my document with the Right My Wrongs project. But he came in, we went real in depth about our relationships as far as marriage, and just those who wasn't married went to those relationships, worldly relationships, being a black man in America, all these things. We were just pouring. And then we went into our own production hubs, which was all the different rooms of the house. It was a 5-bedroom house. We had all set up as pre-production studios. So everybody went there, and from the first snare to the first lyric being wrote, you see everything being documented, and you're able to follow the journey of every song. But it's coming from such a pure place, and I feel like it's going to help the world understand men and the things that we go through in relationships, out of relationships, in the world, being fathers. It's a lot of important dialogue inside the project, and I feel like I was just the vessel to be able to bring it.
Okay. Do you feel like, have you come up with a name yet for the project or not yet?
It's called Right My Wrongs, but it's spelled like Right My Wrongs.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. You mind giving us a little snippet, singing for us, maybe some acapella?
I can. I'm horrible when it comes to like lyrics off the top of the head because I write all day.
Okay.
So this will be a totally new song if I sing it right.
So since you ain't on the tour, I gotta get my private session. You feel me?
If you want me to sing something, I can sing like something that you probably familiar with. I can just sing something. But I'm just saying,
even if it's one of your new songs, because that's what you're gonna be pushing your new album, and so that would be nice to kind of give people a snippet of that to get them ready for what's to come.
Yeah. In order for me to do that, I'm gonna have to go and listen to the lyrics again first, and then like give myself a 3-second intro. And then give it to you. But
it's okay. Give me something that we all know then. Just take us back. Take us back. Okay.
I know this might sound crazy, but I don't know what I did to make you want to leave. You said we've been here before. I say I'm sorry. You come back. I do it again. And then you back. But girl, it's different now. Every time we headed out, you would go to the door. I chase behind you and I talk your back down to the floor. You needed time. Could you get back to me and let me know how long you need? I can't take it no more.
Okay. That's not really him singing like that no more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
The Africans are taking over the R&B sector. It's like, can we please get a little R&B like that back again? So that was really nice. Yeah, and to see that you still got it.
Oh yeah. When God give a gift, He don't take it away unless you ain't using it.
I told my daughter that the other day. I said, if you have a gift and you don't use it, God will take it away.
Yeah.
Sure
will. He will.
There's a lot of people.
And your gift will make way for you. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm 20 plus years in.
Okay.
So imagine.
You gonna do a gospel album one day?
I have to. I got to. And I think that's what I think.
That's on a whole new, a whole open market.
I think that's what the season of my life is, honestly. I feel like this is a season where He's like, I'm going to come and get you purposely and personally.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm on more of that walk right now. So for me to say I wouldn't would be crazy because I got so much joy inside of me that I'm ready to let out, and testimonies that I'm ready to let fly. So
Perfect. All right. Well, listen, I really appreciate you coming through and being so transparent and open, and being a man about the situation, because a lot of men will kind of run from it and just let the woman just spaz out all over social media. But apparently you coming back and taking control of your household, and she upstairs asleep and the kids is being kids, and it's peaceful in the house. I don't hear nothing in the background. So
exactly right. A lot different.
Like, let me just pack my shit and let me just take my ass on to that. Is that what you did, Willie? You just packed your bags.
But only other people will never know when you have to get your inner peace, because a mental thing is something that you deal with inside your own mental. So for you to say it to somebody else is going to always sound like an excuse, whether they like it big or small or whatever. It's going to sound like an excuse, but you have to take time to get you together, or you can't pour into anyone else if you're becoming empty. So we have to realize that and stop making it so hard for guys to go and have that time, because this was not a trip to hurt my wife in any shape, form, or fashion. This was just so a king can put his crown back on and take control of the castle in which he's building, especially if he sees there's a war going on inside that is too much for him to handle inside. He has to go out and get the water, put the fire out. And that's all that trip was.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Willie Taylor. Can you please tell our viewers where they can find you, follow you, support you?
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, it's Willie_Taylor. And just for all my social media, period, just go to WillieTaylor.com. I got all the merch, movies, music, just anything I got going on will be displayed right there, especially if it has something to do with entertainment, for sure.
Okay. And when is Right My Wrongs going to drop?
I'm dropping it in February. I'm gonna try to go for February 14th to make it just a...
Oh, okay. That's a good look. That's a good look. Hey, you might as well go on and drop the tour dates too.
Yeah, well, I don't have a tour. I don't have a tour set up, but on the 14th I will, because all the stuff is so well structured together, because the documentary that I have with the project, I want to make sure that I have those episodes lined up.
Okay.
So that every time that people listen to the music, they can go back and revisit the whole making of the song, the whole 9 yards, and be able to really live with that record, to love it the way that it was created. You know what I mean?
Okay, perfect. Please come back. We would love to have you when you get ready to do your press tour for the album. And if you're ever in the city of Atlanta, please let us know. We'd love to have you in the studio. And when you are here in Atlanta and the show is here, I'll definitely be front row. So me and my producer Shani over there, because she over there getting her life to my, oh my God.
Go ahead, Shani. What's going on?
I'm laughing over you singing. I'm like, what is she doing? I'm talking about, yes, Lord.
Go ahead, dancing.
So thank you so much. And so with that being said, now we gotta go, and we're just gonna say bye.